This episode is brought to you by Telocico. Do you wish you could tell that annoying coworker to fuck off? Or tell that certain family member to shut the fuck up without facing the consequences? Well, Telocico is just right for you. This extract from the I don't give a fuck a bus plant is completely organic and environmentally safe. One spray of this, and you'll be enjoying the sweet nothings coming out of people's mouths that annoy you the most. Hey Rob, I don't think you should spray, motherfucker. Hey Rob, how about you do Energy Fest like this? Spray, motherfucker. I don't think you should spray. Que te calles, way. Act now and get this 1 ounce bottle for only $59.99. Just go to telocico.com, enter the code Puras Pendejadas to save absolutely nothing at all. That's code Puras Pendejadas and watch the magic work. Thank me later. Yeah. What is up, everybody? I should put this down. Yeah. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Puras Pendejadas podcast. I am your host, Rob D, and I am being held hostage. Just play. This shit feels weird, man. I'm trying to act like normal, but this is just weird. I'm in my garage by myself. So let me just mentally get over it. Don't say that much, Robert, please. And yeah, I wanted to do this because I don't want to corner myself, basically. And I'm just trying shit out. You know what I mean? I want to keep on liking to do this shit. You know what I mean? Oh, fuck, I have allergies too. I want to keep on doing this, but I don't want it to not be fun anymore. You know what I mean? Just excuse the ums. Let me just get over it. So I want to keep this fun, and I don't want to corner myself, and I don't necessarily want to rely on a guest. You know, if I have them, then cool. I like it. It's fun. But also sometimes I just look forward to doing an episode without, having to worry about, oh man, I gotta have someone here. That way I can talk and blah, 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 blah. As far as a format or anything like that, I really don't have a format. I just do whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? People that don't know me will get to know me whether I have a guest or not. You know what I mean? And you can also look back at the episodes right here. No, where is it? Right? I think it's over here. And you can get to know me like that. I've laid out a good foundation of how to get to know me and stuff as far as the music goes. You can actually see the podcast grow. But yeah, that's where I'm at. So I don't have a format. I just go with what I feel, basically. So I have a list here. I'm not on my phone, I swear. Well, I'm not fucking around on my phone. I just have some stuff that I want to, touch up on too. You know what I mean? Not so much to just blindly talk about. I understand that, we're trying to grow a following, you know what I mean? And I think it's important to let you guys know where we're at, but also kind of not let you know everything either, because some of the stuff is boring. It's not sexy, you know what I mean? But it's stuff that we go through in order to, get to our goals, in order to achieve our goals. So, I noticed some local news and shit. Uh, so apparently some idiot climbed a light pole, and he got to the top, I guess. I don't know. But he climbed the light pole. He got electrocuted and he fucking fell. Did he survive? I don't know. It just happened today. I guess we'll find out. That's it for the local news. And now, Energy Fest. So I think this is the one that everybody's really curious about. And I don't want to go. How do I say this? I don't want to talk shit, but I also want to be honest, and that's where the line gets blurred. You know what I mean? So we had a date, we had a lineup, and okay, so I'm not a promoter. All right, I'm just an artist that's looking to make create opportunities for myself and others. You know what I mean? Just to help out and shit. Shout out to all the guys. And I'm lucky enough that once I speak to the guys in person, they kind of get an idea of what we're trying to do. Uh, Accurate plays an important part in this shit. Um, and I'm just kind of like, you know, learning as I go, really reaching out to these venues and stuff. And we get turned down a lot. Or no, you know what? It's not that we get turned down. There's a lot of money requested, and I'm like, I don't have that shit, and I don't want to. I want to be able to help the artists too. You know what I mean? I don't want to just have them dish out all this money and then make it like a transaction and then like, all right, okay, cool, see you later, and then that's it. You know what I mean? I'm more focused on building relationships because it's beneficial for everybody. You know what I mean? Not just me, not just Accurate, not just uh, the artists and stuff. It's beneficial for everybody. You have that relationship and you feel a certain comfort when you link up again. You know what I mean? Like, this guy cares. This guy, gave me some pointers, or this guy helped me build my set list. He gave me advice and stuff like that. And it's really cool to see, the guys get together and, work on some songs or, bounce around ideas and send music and like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Like, it's pretty cool to see. And you want to talk about starting from scratch. That's like scratch. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know these guys at all if it wasn't for Energy Fest. You know what I mean? For this idea of setting a goal and accomplishing it, and then like, all right, let's set another goal. So I understand that it's not going to be easy, and it's not supposed to. Is this bitch even recording? Oh yeah, it is. Um, I understand that it's not supposed to be easy. It's going to be hard. You're going to run into bumps in the road. It's almost like it's normal. You know what I mean? So, um, I say that to say, I'm trying to see how I could word it, because I don't want to talk shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk down about the place where we had. We're gonna have it, but I don't know what Okay, I know where I was going with this. So I'm talking about the relationships. How important it is for us artists to like link up and not necessarily agree on everything, which is cool too, because we've gotten to the point where we don't really agree. Well, not that. There's certain topics that we've all talked about, just hanging out here, rehearsals and stuff, to where we don't necessarily agree with everything, which is, I found it was cool because we can always agree to disagree and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, there's, why hang on to stupid shit like that? The focus is the music. Everything else is just like, oh, okay, cool. No judging, no nothing. So, it's cool. I feel like one of my responsibilities as um how do I say this? One of my responsibilities as far as controlling the show, not controlling, man. I don't want to, because it's not only about me. But when I do reach out to these places, right, I make it a point to we want certain things to happen. You know what I mean? One of those things is like rehearsals. I want to make the artist as comfortable as possible. That way, when it's time for the day of the show, it's not all like a shock. You know what I mean? And now, mind you, I view myself as like the weakest link out of everybody as far as performers go, because I'm the one with the least amount of experience. Um, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to view it like, okay, if I'm the one with the least amount of experience, what would I like to see done? And part of it is that. Part of it is like, okay, I do want to feel comfortable. I don't want to make it awkward, because me going up there, getting the mic, talking shit, you know what I mean? That's already awkward within itself. You gotta like, there's a mindset that you have to go through and shit. So as more relaxed that it can be as possible is the better. You know what I mean? So I go with that. Um, I guess you could kind of say I advocate for the artists, kind of for us, but it's really not that. Why I don't see it like that big of a deal because it's just like um, communicating. You know what I mean? Hey, we would like for this to happen, and we would like for this, and can we do this? Can we use those lights? Can we bring our own whatever? Um, we have this equipment. What equipment do you have? Okay, hey, can we actually practice and see if our stuff even is compatible? You know what I mean? Like, am I gonna have to buy a connection? And these are all things that I don't want to wait till the day of the show to start running around and putting pieces together. You know what I mean? That's why I think that having practice is important because that way by the day of the show there's less stress, you know, as far as technical stuff, let alone what you're going through. But it's almost like because we deal with like, um, electronics, equipment, speakers, laptops, batteries, and all this stuff. Like you want to make sure you're prepared as much as possible. I did run into a situation at the only Energy Fest that we've had, where we were having a rehearsal, and you know there was a miscommunication, and I thought our equipment was going to be able to work with their equipment. Turns out we show up the day of the rehearsal, and I needed a connection basically. And I was frustrated, but then at the same time I was like, this is why we need these things to happen. That way I can get the connection, and then we'll set up another rehearsal, and then now, we can go from there. But I think that venues, um, that's not a big focus for them. You know what I mean? Which I kind of see, but then at the same time, um, it all goes into the whole relationships. You know what I mean? Like right now, we're starting. You know what I mean? And we want to get to a point where we have a following. Then when we have a following, that's when the venues are gonna start benefiting. But right now it's kind of like you kind of have to put your faith in us. You kind of have to be patient with us, as we're approaching this as kind of like an artist development kind of deal as far as performing goes, and wait till we build. But it's almost like that investment in their time will pay off, because then once we get a following, forget it. It's all money for them. You know what I mean? But I think that's where things get a little gray, because it's like, no, now. I want it now. I need it now. You know what I mean? And so I'm saying that to like tiptoe around. Basically, I brought up, all right, it's just me and you here talking. You know what I mean? It's just like, nobody watches this shit anyways. But again, I don't want to talk shit, but I want to be honest. So, um, I had brought up, like a month ago. Actually, I brought it up at the beginning. Even I went to go check out the venue, and I liked it. The situation was right, but again, I kind of lead with that. I kind of lead with, I would like to have, at least 2 rehearsals, before the show. So I did communicate that with them, and they're like, oh yeah, just let us know, that way we can schedule it, blah 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 blah. All right, cool. So I let them know. Well then, um, what was it, like a month ago? A little bit more than a month ago, I think, ballpark. I hit them up again, and I was like, hey, just want to know when we can have the rehearsals. That way we can get ready, and so on and so on, whatever. And they're like, yeah, we'll let you know. We'll let you know at a certain time, a certain date. They told me, and like, okay, cool. That date came, went, and I was like, all right, now we're a month away from the show, and they still haven't reached out. Let me reach out to them. So then, and mind you, this is kind of like what irks me too. I'm DMing them, right? Like the whole chat is there. It's a receipt, So, oh shit, what were we talking about with this guy here? Let me slide up. Oh, oh fuck, man, I told him I was gonna let him know. Okay, cool. You know, cool. But it's almost like people, not just them, because I've run into this situation more than once. But people like kind of forget that they can like swipe down and like catch up on the conversation. That I don't know. But anyways, I hit them up and I tell them, hey, you know what? I wanted to know about, the rehearsals and stuff. You said you let me know, but, I just wanted to know. We're a month away or whatever. Now, this isn't what I said verbatim. I don't remember what I said verbatim, but, more or less. And they were just like, explain, rehearsal, explain. And I was like, okay, we're gonna pretend like we don't know what we're talking about. All right. And I just let them know again, I want the artist to, basically go see the venue, experience being on stage, and also I want to see if our equipment is compatible with yours. Basically, I want to have a dry run. Um, and then it just got awkward, you know. It got some time would pass, and then they were like, a little bit back and forth or whatever. Um, Basically, I got the vibe right away that they weren't down for that, you know. And you know, I thought about it and I said, do I just charge it to the game and just proceed, follow through, or should I just like pull out? You know what I mean? And I thought about it. I thought about it. I reached out to Accurate. I asked my wife, and you know, then I was like, man, this isn't fun. You know, if they're pretending, if we're going through this, what else might come up later? You know what I mean? Communication is a big deal. So if there's going to be another miscommunication, then that one would be on me. It's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. You know what I mean? So the second time around would kind of be my fault because I know what I'm in for. Um, and then I thought about it. You know what I mean? And I was like, no, well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I should just suck it up, and these things happen and stuff. I'm pretty sure it happens to other people. And then that's when I stop myself. I'm like, I'm not like other people. We are not like other people. We don't want this to be the norm. So, and this is not fun anymore. You know what I mean? Now it's like, because we're all dealing with life. You know what I mean? I'm dealing with this and that. Every single person, shit. I think every single person that I know, is going through something. You know what I mean? And it's serious. If it's serious to them, it's serious. So it's just like, do I want to add this to my plate, dude? Like, do I really want to do this? Like, I want to get a DM from them and be like, oh, cool. Like, look forward to it instead of like, nah, what? You know what I mean? So I think a lot of times because we want things so bad, then we settle. You know what I mean? Then we lie to ourselves. Then we're like, oh, no, no, no pasa nada, no pasa nada. It's okay, it's okay. These things happen. And then you get caught up in that vicious cycle, that abusive relationship trait. You know what I mean? Where they have the upper hand. Now they start treating you a certain way and this and that. And it's just like, no, I'm not putting myself through this. I'm not putting the guys through this. I don't feel comfortable here. Let me just dip out. I will give them props because according to them, I can only go by what they told me. Um, you know, we were lucky to get our deposit back. So, it wasn't all bad. Um, and yeah, man, afterwards, I wouldn't say I got bummed out. It did fuck with me, but it felt good. It felt like the right thing to do. It sucked because we were looking forward to it. We were having rehearsals, um, you know, and it just, but it felt right at the same time. You know what I mean? And I think that comes with with wanting to do this. You want to make sure that go back to the relationship because that's what it's all about. if the relationship isn't there, if the communication isn't there, things are bound to go wrong, because things are bound to go wrong, or some mishap happens, a mistake or something anyway. You know what I mean? But if you can see it coming and prevent it, then just do that. You know what I mean? And that's where I feel like it was the best decision for us. Probably not the most ideal, and I apologize to the guys, man, but at the same time, I was like, this is what we should be doing. I don't want to be dealing with this. You know what I mean? It was becoming not fun, and I could see down the road that more non-fun might happen. You know what I mean? So again, hopefully I described that in a way where I didn't talk shit, because that's not my intention. You know what I mean? I know everybody handles their business a different way. I'm pretty sure if you go ask them, I probably fucked up in a way where they got rubbed the wrong way, and whatever. You know what I mean? But who knows? I guess we'll never know. And so that's where we're at. That's what happened basically. Um, and again, I don't regret it. I feel it's the right thing that should have happened. And so as of right now, we're homeless. We're homeless, and I'm looking. I'm just looking again. You know what I mean? I have a few ideas that I won't say, because no falta el que va a echar la pinche sal, and you know what I mean? So let's just leave it at, I'm still working on it. I'm still, you know, looking, and we'll see where it goes. Now I do feel an obligation again to let you know what's going on, because we need your support. We want your support. If you connect with us, then there has to be that line of communication there. And we want to let you guys know, like, not only like, oh no, it's been postponed, like, whoa, what's going on? I posted a flyer and shit, the location to be determined, you know what I mean? But just to let you guys know, like, hold on, we're not done here, because I don't want to leave. I'm not a big fan of leaving shit half-assed. So it's like, no, 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 this has to happen. And we want it to happen. You know what I mean? We want to get over this hurdle, because who knows what's in store for us. You know what I mean? It wasn't meant to be there. Okay, cool. Just got to keep on looking. So that's where we're at. I'm looking, and I'll keep you guys posted, man. I just really ask for your guys' support. I understand how much all ages event is. So, that's a factor I have in. Again, rehearsals, that's a factor I have in. What else? Apparently people want alcohol. That's something that I factor in. So I do listen. I do have certain things, and some of the stuff, some places are like, nah, and it's just like, oh, well, okay. And I'm like, all right, well, thank you then. And I just walk away. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm gonna have to start. Maybe we'll have it in the fucking garage. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of weird having people knowing where I live. But I don't know. I gotta figure this out. And that I do put on me, because um, I want the guys to just focus on their sets, on their music, on whatever they have planned to do, and then it's like, let me worry about this shit. You know what I mean? But if anybody has any suggestions, any ideas, people I should contact, maybe they'll help us out. I watched, oh man, what's the name of I was watching it. So Accurate, he came out on a podcast, and, they were talking, the podcast is called, Sound, is it Sounds? Should have written it down. Sorry. Sounds Real. Sounds Real 915 on YouTube. And they're just starting, and basically they do reviews about movies and bands. It's more like rock oriented, but they had Accurate on, and it was pretty cool, man. And they mentioned how they were curious about the hip hop scene in the city, and how they asked Accurate, like, would you be okay with like opening for a band and stuff, and Accurate was like, hell yeah. And I thought that was so cool, man, because I think we just got to get rid of all these stigmas. You know what I mean? Like the whole like, oh, the rock bands and the EDM and the this and the that, and you can only be there because that goes into the whole my vision for the Energy Fest. I envision it, uh, having all genres. You know what I mean? So we can build a relationship with bands, with DJs, and if it as long as it works, you know what I mean? If it works, cool. Um, but I thought that was pretty cool for them to ask like, hey, you guys down? Because they were mentioning how and I didn't even know this, that I don't know when, but I think Onyx, the group Onyx, wasn't came to town or whatever. They had a show, and I don't know if they look for any hip hop acts to open for them. Um, but basically, they had to get an artist or some artists from like out of town, like Albuquerque or Alamogordo or somewhere out there, not here, basically, to open for Onyx here when there's artists here. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, that's so interesting. So they were very curious about the scene and stuff. So it's like that'd be cool. You know what I mean? Link up and who knows what could happen. But again, I think more we need to build these relationships instead of just having these transactions because you get nowhere. You know what I mean? Because who's to say? Okay, perfect example. Why is it important to build relationships? Because let's say we build a relationship with the band, right? They're out and about, they have a show or whatever, then they hear the promoter or they hear another band say, hey, you know what, so and so's coming into town, and they're looking for openers. Does anybody know? Because you have that relationship with that band, they could say, hey, you know what, I know Trey Mills, um I know him, let me reach out to him, hey, let me get the details, and all right, I'll let him know. And or Tezu, or Accurate, and or El Rico Suave, you know what I mean? And it's just like, um, you create that opportunity for that other artist, and then you just pay it forward too. You know what I mean? You can have a show, and then like, hey Rob, we're looking for a band. We're gonna have a rock show next month or whatever in 3 months. Do you know any bands? And then pay it forward. Be like, oh yeah, I know this band. Let me go reach out to them. So um, I think that's one way we can get over this hurdle of like holding ourselves back. You know what I mean? Um, and again, it's beneficial for everybody, not just for one party, for everybody. I think that'd be cool. And then when the big artists get here, if they're able to see that, then that'll leave a mark in your brain. Like, wait a minute, this fucking city over here, they're small, but they link up, man. They're together. It's only a matter of time. You know what I mean? It's just like you got to get out of your head, man. You got to be selfless. You know what I mean? But that I think that's why I hang on to that importance of having a relationship. Um, so yeah, that's where we're at. The another thing I wanted to mention too, this new flyer where I put the location is to be determined. I also put on there free. I think it's really important because I understand that we don't have a big following, but whatever following, whoever, if even if it's just one person that was really looking forward um, for this May 13th, whatever, ya ni me acuerdo, um, this upcoming Energy Fest that got canceled. If there was someone or plural um, that was looking forward to it, I feel like I owe them. You know what I mean? And that's why I put free on there, because I want to manifest that. I want to be able to say like, yes, we will have a free show for to make up for this one. Um, but also in looking for venues and stuff like that, there might be a possibility that there might be a fee. Now, I'm gonna try my hardest to make sure I keep it as low as possible, because um I don't want you guys. I don't think we're there yet. You know what I mean? If you guys think, and cool, thank you, but I want to be able to build that worth. That worth of like, you know what? Let me pay whatever amount of money to go see the guys because I know they're gonna put on a great show. As of right now, we're still growing, we're still learning. Um, we have good plans, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't feel right, charging you, and that goes into the whole this other show too. There was a $5 fee. We weren't pocketing none of that. That was just to pay for the spot. You know what I mean? Because we don't. I know I couldn't cough up that type of money, and I didn't want to put that on none of the guys either. And the venue said, you know what, you can sell the tickets, and then we'll just keep the money. Um, and I was fine with that. You know what I mean? So I felt like okay, that's a tit for tat. Um, but as of right now, if I could avoid fees, I will. But also, these venues, you know what I mean? They do have a point. You know what I mean? They'll be providing the venue. So if they want a certain amount and it works with us, I'll we'll go ahead and go from there. But I would like to keep it low. You know what I mean? Like low, low. Like I think $5 is like okay, cool. You know what I mean? $10, like yikes. You know what I mean? But it all depends on the negotiations with us and the venues and stuff. And again, I'm just telling you all this so I want to be transparent with you guys. That way, you guys understand what we're going through, what we're dealing with, and our intentions too. Like from as of right now, if we do end up charging, it would not go into our pockets. That wouldn't happen. It would go straight to paying for the venue. So hopefully you guys have that in mind if if we do end up having a fee. But I will aim to make sure they're free for as long as we can. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I can't really control to a certain point. You know what I mean? But yeah, I did want to let you guys know. And you know what? I feel better too. Because I really do care what you guys think about what's going on and shit. You know what I mean? I think if we have this line of communication, leave a comment too. Like if you agree, if you disagree, if you're looking forward to it, if you want some merch, if you have questions about merch. What else? Anything, man. Any suggestions? You know what I mean? I have some suggestions floating around, but I'm just trying to, como se dice, trying to turn every stone or some shit like that. You know what I mean, right? I'm just looking. I'm looking right now. I'm on a fucking scavenger hunt. Easter passed, but I'm still looking, bitch. um, all right. What else? So yeah, that's Energy Fest, and like I said, I feel better, man. I feel like some weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Um, on to some lighter news. Well, I mean, all right. I want to give you guys this. I want to give props to these people that frequently fly. Man, I went out of town to go. Should I even? Yeah, I guess so. I went out of town to go visit my sister, right? 'Cause she was gonna come back into town or whatever. She needed help moving back, but I flew over there, and I had connecting flights. Right, I had two separate flights, and I want to give props to all these frequent flyers, man, because I don't know how you guys do it. First of all, I don't like roller coasters. I'm a little bitch when it comes to roller coasters. So, and second of all, I haven't. How do you say it? Ridden? No. Rode? No. I haven't gotten on an airplane. I haven't traveled. You know, um, in an airplane in years. Probably since I was like 12 or 13, something like that. Um, so I thought, once you go through it, it's like you're always gonna know what it feels like. Fuck no. So I had to fly from here to Dallas, right? That was the first flight. It was early in the morning, dude, and I was nervous. I was anxious. I was excited. Um, but I didn't. I only got like 2 hours of sleep, maybe 3 hours of sleep. Um, so I had it really, really early in the morning, like the sun wasn't even up yet. And I get to the airport or whatever, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. This is different. So I'm just trying to take everything in and stuff, So then they're boarding us, and then you're walking through the whatever the shit is, the tunnel or whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool, cool. Like, this is cool, man. Um, and then I get to the door, right? I get to the door of the airplane, and then once you like go over that step, you turn, and then you go find your seat. Well, I turned and I look, and it's just like a tunnel. It was so tiny, dude. I was like, what in the fuck is this? Like, I was waiting for the milk crates with the chickens inside of them and everything. Like, it was tiny. And then all the lighting, um, it was all mismatched. And it kind of, some of them were kind of flickering. I was like, what in the fuck type of flight is this? Like, American Airlines? Are you fucking kidding me? So I was like, man. So I'm looking. I'm like, how do I find my seat? And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm trying to like play it cool, like I know what I'm doing, and I'm looking. I'm like, where is it? Oh, okay, oh, okay. And you get the little pattern, F9 or B12 or whatever the seat is, right? So I'm walking and I'm walking and I'm like, all right. And the whole time I'm just like in shock. I'm like, man, I hope this shit doesn't suck because this shit is tight. So it was 2 rows, right? 2 rows of seats, and then 2 rows of seats, and then the middle aisle. And then so I'm walking, right, and then I'm like, oh wait, okay, this is my seat, and I look, and I had the aisle, but I look at this man. I'm standing right in front of him, and I look at my at my phone, and I'm like, oh, F6 or some shit, and he like, and I tell him, my seat's right there. Not to tell him like you're on my seat. So I was just like, oh, is that F6? Yeah, that my seat's right there or whatever. And he's like, oh, oh, um, and I guess he was just stalling to see if I don't know, kept walking. I don't know what the fuck he was expecting me to do. And I was like, okay, dude, this is kind of awkward. Come on. I'm like one of the last ones to be standing. So finally he's like, oh, and I pointed at what's it called? The shit where you put your carry-ons and shit, the door. And I told him F6 or whatever my number was. And he looks up and he goes like that, but he can't, there's no way he can see it from his point of view. You have to get up and like look like that. And he like, oh, um and I guess he saw I wasn't moving or leaving, and then he just like he got his backpack. The middle armrest was down, and he kind of did this whole awkward like slide over and like, and he looks at me like, por tu culpa, güey, estoy batallando, you know what I mean? And then I was like, don't those things go up? I was like, whatever. And he sits down, and then I sit down, and it was, my knee. I have to have my leg straight because of my knee. But I sat down and I was like, oh shit, man. I had kind of like no choice but to bend my leg. And then I was like, I'm trying to like find my spot and stuff. And I had my backpack on, so I just had it between my legs. And I was like, holy shit, man, this is so tight. And then we're touching shoulders. And I was like, oh man, this is awkward. This is the whole fucking flight. I was like, fuck. All right, whatever. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. And then I'm looking around, and the guy's like right here, or it felt like he was right here. And I'm like, man, when I was like looking around, we kind of made eye contact. I was like, shit, this is awkward. And then I was like, man, I haven't flown in years, but I don't remember it being this tight. And then he's like, yeah, me either. I haven't flown in years either. It's kind of tight, huh? I was like, yeah. So we're like, all right, cool. This guy's gonna be okay, I guess. And yeah, so took a while to take off. That shit got annoying. I was tired, but I was too nervous. You know what I mean? Especially in public. I was like, fuck no, there's no way I'm closing my eyes. I don't trust nobody. Um, so waiting, and then starts moving. Right, we're gonna take off and stuff. While we like the airplane is like driving or whatever, whatever they do, they're moving on the ground. you felt everything, every bump, every. I was like, man, this shit's kind of rough, no? Like, the fuck, you know? And so we kept on going or whatever, and then yeah, he like, oh, and then the announcements, the flight attendant announcements. Um, Basically, they're talking over the intercom, and the flight attendant. I don't even know what they were doing. I couldn't fucking see them. But I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And so we're taking off and stuff. It's fucking rough as shit, man. I was like, oh god, man. And then whoa, he just fucking steps on it, fucking take off, and then whoa, and we're flying and shit. And then he's just like turning, and it's like, oh shit, go 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 go. I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, I don't know, man. Something isn't right. Like, I don't remember it being this rough of a flight when I was a kid, and it was just really rough, man. So we're flying or whatever, and it's almost like, I don't know if you know if you've ever driven like a standard car, or what is it, manual, whatever, fucking stick. So when you drive stick, sometimes, at times, like, you'll put it in neutral. You know what I mean? Like, and you just like take it out of the gear. If you've driven it before, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Sometimes you just coast. You know what I mean? Well, I kind of felt that, while we were flying, because it's like, oh, you'd be flying and shit, and then all of a sudden, like, you didn't feel anything, and then just like coast, and then my stomach would just like get all tight, like, what the fuck is happening? And he just like, I don't know what movement we were doing, but it just felt like we were just like, I was about to say flying, like we were floating. You know what I mean? It's just like coasting. And then all of a sudden, whoa, and you could, like, when it was picking up or whatever the fuck we were doing, you could feel it like, oh, wait. And it's kind of like when you're driving, whoa, when you're stepping on the gas again, right? So I felt that a lot, So I was like, man. Then finally, I would say close to the end of the flight, I kind of got comfortable to where I was like, I comfortable and really, really fucking tired. And I was listening to a podcast. Shout out to the fucking Combat Jack podcast. I was listening to the Combat Jack show, the Pete Rock episode. And I had that shit on high, man. The volume was like really high because I couldn't hear because of all the fucking noise. And then so I'm like, all right, I'm listening to it. I'm trying to block the noise and shit. And then I just feel, wait, espérate. Okay. Ay, güey, me asusté. Okay, no. And so we're flying, and stupid shit made me lose my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I'm getting tired and I'm comfortable enough. Oh, meanwhile, this guy had passed out like almost from the beginning, and his fucking knee was out and shit, and it was touching my knee. I'm like, dude, the fuck, whatever. So finally, I'm like, damn, man, I can't keep my eyes open, and I was like, because I was kind of like, I would kind of close my eyes just to like block out the whole ride or whatever, flight ride. And I got to a point where I was like, okay, I think I could like knock out for a little bit or whatever. And I remember setting my timer right on my watch. Like, I think I put it for like 10 minutes or some shit like that, right? So I look at the time, and well, I don't remember the exact time, but I remember it saying like whatever 56 or something like that, or 36, 46, 36, something like that, whatever the hour was, and 36 minutes. So I looked and I was like, okay, cool, start, whatever. And I was like, okay, just rest your eyes. And I rest my eyes, and then all of a sudden I just feel my balls go into my stomach and further up my fucking throat. And I was like, what in the fuck? And I remember waking up like, what the fuck? And the fucking plane was, I could feel us dropping, dude. I was like, what in the fuck? You want to talk about a rude fucking awakening, man. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was like, oh God. Go, 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 go. I was like, fuck this fucking flight, man. I was like, and then I was thinking, and I have another one to go. I was like, man, whatever. And come to find out, we were almost gonna land. You know, I wish I could tell you what we were doing, but I had no idea. I could just feel, you know what I mean? And then, so then, um, we're dropping, right? We're dropping, and I'm assuming because we're getting ready to land and shit. And we're, you know, I could just feel us dropping, and then he would kind of like pull up and then like go and then pull up. And then, needless to say, I look at the time, I slept for 4 minutes, but my eyes were so rested. I was like, all right, decent nap, you know? And I rested enough to like recharge, you know what I mean? But I was tripping out. I was like 4 fucking minutes, man, and it felt like an hour. Um, so then we're getting ready to land right, and it's like, whoa, and then all of a sudden you just hear boof, and like from under my feet, and I was like, what the fuck? And then like, whoa. And then as we're getting ready to land, I was like, was that the fucking landing gear? I was like, God damn, man. Shit was loud. And just like I know I jumped because it was loud and you could feel it. And poof. I was like, damn. So then yeah, whatever. Shake, 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 shake. And you just like that fucking drop feeling, you know what I mean? I was like, just end this shit already. And then just bro, 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 fucking rough ass landing, and I was like, oh, thank God, this is fucking over. And I think the sun was just coming out, I think, or it was already out. No, it was already out. So by the time I had woken up, the sun was barely coming out. So by the time we landed, it was already, you know, kind of out a little bit, whatever that's called, dusk, dawn, whatever. So then we land or whatever. Then I get a notification that the flight is gonna take off in like 30 minutes. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I gotta limp my ass through the fucking airport. I don't even know where I'm at. I don't know the airport, but I gotta look for this gate. So whatever. I lucked out because the flight ended up getting delayed, so I got there on time. Um, and then I took the oh man, I don't remember what it's called. If you guys have ever been to the Dallas airport, there's this what's that? Oh, the shuttle. There's a shuttle, and if you guys take a listen to the episode with my sister, she's talking about her experience with at the Dallas airport shuttle, how it just fucking takes off. Like it's really rough. You're like, yeah, that shit's funny. And so I'm walking up to it, and I'm like, "Where's this gate?" And they're like, "Oh, just take the shuttle. It'll take you over here, gate whatever." I'm like, all right, cool. And I look at it, I was like, "Oh shit, this is what she was talking about." And yeah, man, that shit is rough. The whole fucking panels on the inside are like all shaky and shit. And I was like, fuck that, I'm not standing up. I just sat down and held on to the fucking pole the whole time. It's all, bing. I was like, I was just getting a flashback of my sister's experience. Um, so then finally I get to the gate or whatever. It was delayed like twice, and oh, I was wearing my mask the whole time too. That's another thing, because when my sister came to visit for the holidays, she ended up getting COVID, and we were trying to figure out how she got it. Um, and of course, you never know how you get it, but we were like, you either got it at work or you got it on there at the airport. And I like to think she got it at the airport because it's fucking disgusting. You know, think about it. All these people around, plus some of these people are fucking savages, fucking coughing and walking around without shoes, and it's just come on, man. So I was like, I am not risking it. I don't care if I'm the only one wearing a fucking mask. I'm wearing a mask, and I'm not taking that shit off until my sister picks me up. And that's what I did. So, pinche boca la tenía toda seca la chingada. I was hungry. They were giving out snacks. I was like, no, thank you. And so while I'm waiting, right, for the fucking the second flight, um, I sit down and I'm sitting right in front of the fucking snack station, and I was like, motherfucker, man. Like, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry. I was like, I just gotta ignore it. It's not worth it. Don't take this fucking mask off. And yeah, boarded. So then I'm kind of bummed out because of my first experience. I'm heading to board on the next flight, right? And I'm like, just suck it up, Robert. It's a shorter flight. You're almost there. Whatever. You know what I mean? Food. Look forward to food and water. And pinches labios todos blancos. And so I'm walking, right? The tunnel shit. I don't know what it's called, man. I don't fly. Um, and then I'm walking up, right, and I'm already like getting ready to get disappointed again and shit. So then I'm walking, and I turn to go, find my seat or whatever. But then when I turn, I'm like, oh my goodness, totally different airplane, totally different. This shit was like spacious. It almost felt like, granted, I've never flown first class, but this flight compared to the first flight, pinche first class, wait, no mames. So I was like, what the fuck? Wider. Now you're 3 rows, a way more spacious, what is that called? The aisle. And then 3 rows. I was like, ándale, güey, así sí. And right away, I kind of loosened up a little bit. And the flight was, well, I mean, because it was more spacious too, but it wasn't as packed either, you know? There was way less people. Got my seat. This one I had the window. Sat down, way comfier seats. The roominess was still limited, but it was just better already. You know, the lighting matched, and and yeah, man. So I looked out the window and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I got like I don't know if it's vertigo or whatever. Me hizo así, güey. Me hizo así, and I was like, we'll take it easy," and we're not even up in the air yet either. And then the headrest had like this screen, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, wow, man, the difference. Um, and even the announcements, the flight attendants, they just played a video for us, and I was like, "Wow, man, this is fucking way different." Um, Again, we took a while to take off, and then finally we took off, and way smoother ride, smoother takeoff. Everything was just smooth, and then while you're flying, one of the options you could watch movies and shit, but one of the options is like a map, and you can see um like where you're at, where your destination is at, which way you're facing. You know what I mean? Like all this shit, like it's all interactive. I was like, damn, this shit's dope. The speed, the temperature, the windshield temperature, like all this shit. I was like, wow, this is fucking cool as shit, man. And at first, the first flight, I was like, yeah, if we end up traveling somewhere, I don't think, my wife would like this experience because she's terrified. She's already saying, like, there's no way I'm flying. I'm trying to see if I could convince her. But off of the experience of that first flight, I was like, fuck no, man. Not even I'm down to do this shit again. And then I was like, Idris too. I was like, he won't be down for this. Haley will. She'd fucking love it. But I was like, yeah, I was like, man, I guess we're gonna have to drive wherever the hell we're planning to go. And but then my experience on the second flight, I was like, now if we get this, I think they'll be okay. Now granted, I still gotta get them on, but I was like, wow, man, totally different experience. Um, the takeoff, the flight over there, fucking quick. We landed smooth as shit, man. I didn't feel the fucking landing gear fucking pop open like a Jack in the Box and shit. And yeah, man, super super cool. I didn't get no shut eye there. I was too excited. I ended up, opening the window here and there and shit. Um, and I really would have liked to have taken Haley because the whole time I'm like, man, she would have really liked this. So hopefully we're able to give her that experience in the future. Um, and then yeah, landed or whatever, and then I got picked up and so on, so forth. Drove over here. We had to drive back, and it was fucking hard. The weather was awful. fucking windy as shit, man. I'm driving a fucking U-Haul, while pulling my sister's car, and I'm fighting against the wind and shit. It was fucking awful. Like, um, I would say most of the drive was like that, but like leaving, and the only reason I feel comfortable saying it now is because she said it too. Um, Leaving Lubbock, it was a lot of sandstorms. No, what is it? Whatever. Like there was so much wind, and there's a lot of loose sand over there. It was just like blocking your view. But then once we got out of the area, it was just wind. It was just a lot of wind, man. It was really tiring, man. I just kept on trying to hang on to the fucking steering wheel and shit. And then the fucking door was fucked up, so you could hear all the fucking wind. So we're like yelling at each other, trying to talk and shit. Um, but yeah, that was that experience. And she's back home. She's back home. We helped her move into her place. Um, and I wish her luck in whatever it is she decides to do. You know what I mean? In this new journey. Um, yeah. Hopefully she keeps on, striving and doing whatever it is that she wants to do. You know what I mean? That that's what we're here for, just to help everybody out and shit, help each other out. Um, Another experience I want to run by is the WWE came. And we were very lucky and fortunate to have taken Haley for her birthday there. And I want to thank the family for helping out, making that possible. She had a fucking blast. It was a surprise, and she figured it out by the time we got to what right outside the Don Haskins. Um, she's like, wait a minute, because she knew. She was asking like, can you guys take me? And we're like, hell no. So she was a little bummed out, whatever, leading up to it, and then yeah, she's like, wait a minute, Don Haskins, today's, oh shit, are we gonna go see WWE? And we're like, yeah, happy birthday. And she's like, oh, and she got all excited and shit, and she loved it, man. And some of her favorite wrestlers ended up showing up, man. I didn't think some of them were gonna be there. I was like, oh shit, this is cool. We got some really good seats. Idris, enjoyed himself too. He kind of was over it, towards the end, but even at that, he pulled through. I thought he was just gonna like no, but he ended up liking it. Um, and I think the highlight of the night was Haley got to take a picture with one of the wrestlers, a girl wrestler. Uh, Fuck, she has green hair. I think her name is Shotzi. Um, right after the event, she's like, I want to go take pictures. And I was like, I don't know where to go. And coming in, there was like this entrance blocked off and stuff with like semis and RVs. I was like, maybe we could go over there. And yeah, we went over there, and there was, of course, there was already people. And I was tripping out because I'm like, she's like, let me go over here. I'm gonna go see. And I'm so used to like, you know, protecting her and holding her hand and come on, I'll go with you. And that she was just like, because we were standing at a spot where we thought the wrestlers were gonna come to take pictures and give autographs, and the area was kind of big, and she's like, um, oh, I think they're gonna go over there. Some wrestlers came out first. I forgot who. And she's like, I'll be back, and she just left, and it's just like, I was like, oh, like the dad in me was just like, shit, like I can't go with her, and I had to like realize like, she's grown enough to where you can trust that she'll come back. You know what I mean? Not that she'd run away, but it's that parent shit, inside that's like, wait, hold my hand, let's go do this. I'll go with you. Come on. It's just like, no, she can fend for herself. Of course I got super nervous because it was crowded, but I was texting her the whole time. I called her. No, did I call her? No, I texted her. Yeah, I texted her, and she's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, cool. And she came back, and then we were waiting, and that's when that girl wrestler. I hope I'm not messing up her name. I think her name was Shotzi. She showed up, and she just like went past us, and then I couldn't see her because there's so many people, and Haley just fucking darted over there. And then I was like, I can't see her. I can't see her. Is she okay? Is she okay? And I would tell my wife, can you see her? She's like, no. I was like, it's all right. It's all right. She's okay. She's okay. But if she doesn't show up soon, I'm going to go limp my ass over there, find her. Um, and yeah, she showed up and she's like, I took a picture with her. I took a picture with her. I was like, oh, shit. And she got a little teary eyed and she's like, she was really excited. She said that was one of her first favorite wrestlers. So I think that was really cool. That was really, really cool experience for her to see, to have, and to see her have. Um, and I'm pretty sure she showed off that picture already to everybody she knows. So again, thank you to everybody that helped out to make that shit possible, man. We really appreciate it. Me and Diana really appreciate it, and um, I feel really grateful that I was there for that. You know what I mean? Because um, she's a big wrestling fan, and that's cool. You know. Next up, and this isn't a surprise, we're gonna go see for her birthday. Um, as part of her birthday present, I'm gonna take her to go see Snow the Product, and that's gonna be her first concert too. So that's gonna be exciting. For that one, it's just gonna be me and her. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see her grow, to be there for her for her first experience of that. You know what I mean? Knowing how much music means to us, knowing how much she likes her, um, it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Um, Kids, man, they're fucking awesome and they grow. Um, and then coming up next is Idris's birthday too. Um, so yeah, you just gotta take it all in, man. That's how, like, no matter what you're going through, um, you gotta find these little positive moments and stuff and hang on to those moments and take it all in. You know what I mean? Take it all in, because you're never gonna have these moments again. And I learned, when Haley was a baby, you have to make room for these moments. You got to make sure you live in the moment, because they're never gonna happen again. And that's why, like, no matter what you're going through, um, I could speak for myself. It's been a rough year and a half. And as soon as I'm done dealing with this whole niche shit, man, I will definitely, let you guys in on my journey. It's just right now, there's no end, and I would want it to end. I would want it to have a happy ending, just, and then I got better. I want to be able to say that. So as of right now, we're not there yet, but hopefully soon. Um, but whatever it is you're dealing with, you know what I mean? Work, family, school, boyfriend, girlfriend, parents, fucking, did I say school? Yeah, I said school. Did I say work? Yeah, work. Whatever the fuck you're dealing with, your stupid bike that doesn't want to teach you how to ride it, whatever it is, you know, there's always gonna be something that you have to deal with. It's just life. It's just what makes you you is how you get over that obstacle. You know what I mean? Because guess what? Once you get over that obstacle, there's going to be another one waiting for you, and you just got to be prepared and bring that experience um, with you to solve this next puzzle. You know what I mean? You just try to stay positive, man, and fuck the bullshit. Do whatever you want. Get out there and get it. Um, Only you, or like, you control you. That's the only thing you can control. So control your mind, control your attitude, control your perspective of what the hell's going on, and hang on to those little positive moments, man, because they're so valuable. They recharge your battery, you know what I mean? And that's what we need. And with that being said, man, this is the Puras Pendejadas podcast. I am Rob D, and I'll be dropping this shit whenever the fuck I want to, all right? Later.